Bless up, bless up, bless all the way up. It's your boy, Change Agent Cooper. Make sure you like this channel, subscribe to this channel, and click the bell for notifications so you can be alerted when this content is coming out. I got a lot to say and I'm gonna say it. I got a lot of experience, strength, and hope, and I'm gonna share it. For me not to, that would be blasphemy. On this day, headed to the Harm Reduction Academy, the last day, you dig? Excited. Just stopped and got some gas and some Black Rifle coffee. Shout out to the veterans and all those who served our country. Salute to you. But got me some gas. Oh man, $40 almost filled up this Bronco. Wow, that was random. But anyway, so back to it. So I'm headed to the Harm Reduction Academy day 4. And I go get my gas, and I'm going in there to get me something to drink. I ain't get to drink my coffee at home, so I got me some of that Black Rifle coffee. Shout out to the veterans. And while I was in there, it was a guy that was stocking for a local beverage company. It's not just local, but I know the company it has local workers in a local facility. And I see the dude in there. And, he got his tattoos and everything. Shout out to him. Tatted, bearded, and employed. Shout out to him. But I'm just hearing him talking on his cell phone as he's doing his job and stocking, and he's just complaining. He's cussing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not like ear hustling, but like he wasn't trying to hide what he was saying. You dig what I'm saying? Like when I'm on the phone, I be cognizant of who around me. You dig? Because I know people like to be in your business anyway. And so I'm in there not looking for nobody's business, but he just giving me the business, just talking in there, and you know what I'm saying? And he was complaining about something at work. He was complaining about his job mostly. And I see him, he has his uniform on, he got his tattoos, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to stereotype or assume that he's formerly incarcerated, but when I seen him in there and heard what he was saying, I thought to myself, I wonder if this brother is formerly incarcerated, because what I do know is that the company that he works for has provided opportunities for formerly incarcerated people. And so that led to this video, because I was thinking to myself about, like, how ready are people when it comes down to the workforce? Like, are these people job ready? Are they getting job readiness prior to them getting out of prison? You dig? Are they getting some support groups, some type of curriculum, culturally responsive curriculum? Are they getting success stories, hope stories, aka hope shots? Are they getting these prior to being released from the prison? And some of these questions are rhetorical, just to be clear, because I am familiar with what is going on and what is not going on in the penitentiary. But I'm not just here to complain. I come with ideas because I've been doing this work for a while, and I got lived experience. I got lived experience as a service recipient and as a service provider. And I took a whole bunch of trainings. You know what they give me? Lived expertise. Can I get a amen in the house of God? Now, let's talk about my suggestions. So shout out to Governor Roy Cooper, because he will mention reentry. That's one thing I will say is Governor Cooper has mentioned reentry. He has mentioned reentry on numerous occasions. He have made some changes and put some funding in places for reentry, and I'm grateful for that he's willing to do that. You dig? And to go a little further, I want to let the world know that I have tangible tactics, I have practical suggestions that would improve the process as it pertains to a social determinant of health called economic stability, as a social determinant of health called access to quality education. And we need not forget that education couples well with training. It couples well with training like beans and cornbread. Can I get an amen in the house of God? Education and training. And so when we ask this question, what's going on in the penitentiary? Like, what's going on in the prisons as it pertains to education and training? That's where the improvements are needed, y'all. So when you hear me say prison reform, I'm not saying abolish prisons. I can't say abolish prisons when prisons saved my life and many of my friends. You dig? And I know a lot of people who are living their best life in prison. Yeah. Closer to God than they ever been. At peace. Building community. And I know it may sound crazy that a person may be institutionalized, but some of the most spiritual people that I've ever met was in prison, and these people was working a recovery program, reading a Bible, highlighting verses, mentoring young men coming in to do time, staying out of trouble, respectful, lifting weights. Come on, man. So, when I talk about prison reform, I'm not saying end prison. I'm saying let's improve what's available to the men and women who are in the carceral state. Let's improve their experience and give them some true rehabilitation. I want to get practical. So there are some programs, like right now, there's a program they got going on called Fierce Fellows. They got a program called Fierce Fellows. And Fierce Fellows is pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? It's a pretty cool program. And I haven't sat through the class, but I put several people in the class, and it's about behavioral modification. You did. A guy named Dr. Job Readiness. I forget his last name, but and that curriculum is something that the Department of Commerce welcomed in and approved and are pushing out across the state. The thing about Fierce Fellows is that Fierce Fellows is offered to people on the outside. And so, they did incorporate a $500 stipend for people who complete Fierce Fellows. It's a 4-week training. It's 3 hours a day for 3 days a week for 4 weeks, I believe, and they get a $500 stipend. But the thing is people are not, the people that need it the most are not going to sign up for that, because by the time they get out of prison, they having to hustle and bustle to make ends meet. They need these types of opportunities offered on the inside, baby. Yeah. Prepare them for the world. You can't prepare them for the world after they done got out. They hustling and bustling and struggling. You dig? They gotta pay. Did y'all know that it costs anywhere from $600 to $1,000 a month to stay in a halfway house? Did y'all know people have probation, fines, and fees? Did y'all know that some people can't get food stamps because they have been indefinitely disqualified from food stamps because of a certain drug charge? Did y'all know that a person might need some help with some clothing on the outside? Did y'all know that transportation plans is needed for people to be able to sustainably get to work? Did y'all know a person might have some kids and got to pay child support? So by the time that they get out, they ain't got time to be going to no behavioral modification classes. They trying to hurry up and get the first job they can get. And if the first job that they can get is a job that don't line up with what they need, that satisfies them, they ain't received no training on how to persevere through the dissatisfaction. They gonna go back to what they used to do, baby. What else would they do? If they can make 3 times as much as what they're making at this job that they hate, where they're being treated any kind of way, that they can't stand this job, they can't stand the management don't know how to talk to them, they ain't been trained to persevere in the atmosphere of dissatisfaction because they didn't get no behavioral modification change on the inside, they gonna go holler at their homies. They gonna go holler at their homies. What's up, bro? Man, this shit getting on my nerves, bro. For real, man. You know what the homies gonna say? Hell yeah, man. F the world, bro. It's us versus them. They ain't trying to give us no way out, bro. Here, hit this blunt. Yeah. It's all good, bro. Love, you know we got you. You know we got you, bro. Yeah. That's what they gonna hear. And I ain't mad at them for saying it, because to be honest, some people are trapped. And some people, that's how they show love. So I ain't gonna sit here and judge the homies either, because the homies ain't had behavioral modification change. They ain't had opportunities. They are a product of their environment. Let's not forget that neighborhood and built environment is a social determinant of health. But for the man that's done got out of prison, that ain't had no job readiness training, that ain't had no behavioral modification training on the inside, what do you expect? So, as we talk about workforce development, as we talk about tapping into the untapped talent, as my homie Dr. Korsnick would say, make sure y'all get that book, by the way. Any of y'all that's about workforce equity, make sure you check out Untapped Talent by Jeffrey Korsnick. Matter of fact, I'm finna listen to that a little bit while I'm on the highway. I'll be listening to it all the time, the audio book. But if we want to talk about improving the process for returning citizens that are reentering the workforce, we got to make sure that we got the Department of Adult Corrections sitting down with the people with lived experience, as well as the workforce development leaders, and All of those need to be at the table. We cannot depend on the workforce development leaders to be able to handle all of this business. You have to honor lived experience. And if we really, really honor lived experience, we have to have the people like Change Agent Cooper at the table. And I'm not the only one, but I am one, and I'm on one. And that one is the solid rock, Jesus Christ. Let me stop before I get to preaching. But listen, if this video makes sense, you want to learn more about workforce equity and the strategies that we have incorporated at Operation Gateway, which is currently receiving funding from the Department of Commerce, passing through our local workforce board to the organization. And we are getting those numbers up at the career centers, getting people signed up for Wagner Pizer and WIOA and technical internships at Voc Rehab, and on-the-job training contracts at Voc Rehab, and on-the-job training contracts through the workforce board. If you want to learn about how we doing it and how we leveraging lived experience, it ain't hard to reach me. Our website is www.operationgateway.org, and my email is COOP@operationgateway.org. That's COOP@operationgateway.org. My name is Change Agent Cooper. I'm not the answer, but that's a daggone shorter alternative. Bless up.